So, I don't know if I have a particular story or anything like that, but I'm I turned 30 in April, and I met Nate when I was 13. I remember at night watching like those. I don't know why I was kind of going through television. I'd find those random channels where they're playing like the local television or whatever, and I found it was like an episode of MWA. And I saw Brian Blade doing an F5, and I was like, that's cool, I want to go there. When I went, it was the first ever show I went to, and Nate was on that show. I don't remember who he was wrestling, but he came out to like a Justin Timberlake song, and he had this weird gimmick. When I was in line, these people were talking about a no-rope barbed wire match that was happening at this other company called PWP. And the main event was Hype Gotti versus Tony Cortez in a no-rope barbed wire. I wanted to go. Begged my dad to let me go. He let me go with my best friend at the time. And when we were at that show, music started playing, and the same guy that was on the MWA show with that weird gimmick, he came out, and I was like, it's that guy. And he was wrestling Vic Victory, and that match was nuts. It was the first time I had seen anything like that, and it just blew my mind. And I remember it, I just latched onto him at that moment, and I went over to the merch table and I talked to him, and he had all these like random DVDs for wrestling companies and stuff like that. And I spent every dime I had on them. At the time, I was working at Burger King when they would still hire you that young. And he didn't know it, but those DVDs were giving me something to do because my life at home was not phenomenal by any means. I'm not going to go into like details, but it wasn't great. And I remember I kept buying every show I went to. I kept buying every single DVD he had, and it would give me something to utilize to escape the situation I was in at the time. And eventually, I think he started picking up on things, and at the time, I added him on MySpace because that was the thing, and I would just blow him up with messages, just questions and things like that, and eventually I started training, and everybody at the shows would also kind of feel like they were picking up on the situation. My dad would drop me off and then ask everybody for money, and everybody kind of created a safe space for me. And I remember Nate specifically, he would invite me to come over to his house to watch tapes, or to go with him to Glenwood to do tumbling, or to go to random shows, and it was things to pull me out of my situation so that I wouldn't have to deal with it. And it gave me something to do because everything was so bad that I just didn't care about, school. So I was, failing out. I didn't have anything to really go to. And he gave me wrestling. There was no reason I should have been in a ring. Like at the time I had my first match, I was 17. I had no business being in a ring, around a ring, but he allowed me to do those things. And he gave me a path for the next few years to make a way for myself and get away from my situation. And I'm going to forever be grateful for that. And a few years after that, when I was at an extreme low point, I remember I reached out to him, and he's like a big brother to me. He's talked me off so many ledges and cliffs, and I'm 100% still around because of him. And it's obviously a little late, and I've learned to kind of let the people know while they're still around that you appreciate them, but I owe a lot, a lot to you. I owe my current career to you. You pushed me towards something for a life after wrestling. Just my brain sure wasn't going to let me do this for much longer. And I have a career because of this. I have a person because of this. Like, every single thing is because of the world of wrestling that you brought me into, has like led me to, what's going on right now. And I'm really grateful, and I know that you have a lot of people here that are going to continue your legacy, and I'm one of them, and I'm hoping I can make you proud. Yeah. I love you.